Marie Alvarez. Here. Ken Bruno. Here.
No, you're not Ken Bruno.
Ken Bruno's not
I
here.
got one.
Oh, he's not? Okay. Angela Burns. Angela Burns. Here. Connie Wang. Here. Paul Kim.
Here.
Dr. Matarazzo.
Here.
John Madison.
Here.
Dr. Cirillo.
Here.
Diana Montemuro. Here. Bishop Barbaros.
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, I hereby state that adequate notice of this regular meeting has been provided to the public by a written notice dated May 10, 2015. The meeting notice has been posted on bulletin boards located inside school buildings and at the Board of Education office, communicated to at least one of the board's designated newspapers, and filed with the Board Clerk of Palisades Park. Can we have a minute approval for our September 16th meeting?
I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Jeffrey Lu.
Yes.
Howard Donovan.
Yes.
Marie Alvarez. Yes. Angela Burns.
Yes.
Connie Wang.
Yes.
Paul Kim.
Yes.
Dr. Matarazzo.
I abstain because I was not here as a board member for that meeting.
John Madison.
Yes.
Thank you. I do not have a report at this time, so we will go to the report of the superintendent.
We do have two presentations this evening. Before I turn this over to the two different groups here, I do have a few items, and I will need to go into closed session for a matter, Mr. President. So first thing is the biggest secret that was let out a long time ago. Very soon it will be my recommendation to the board and for the community, I think because of space concerns and student priorities, that the 7th grade will no longer be at Lindbergh next year. That potentially will go to the high school, and it will be the way it was. In addition to that move, first graders will very likely be moved to Lindbergh Elementary School. Again, nothing is final. It is November. I think these things take much planning and preparation. I do not want this to come about again in April, and then we get caught not ready for it. The conversation has begun on my end. We have talked, and principals are going to start forming transitional communities that can help with this obvious large task. It has been done before, and it may have to happen again. It's out there now. PTA, PTSA made a point of concern last month. I, along with Mr. Kim, did meet with a few members who are here this evening with the KPG. I'm sure Paul will talk to that a little bit in a few minutes. And if there's anything new to that in new business, I'm sure, or audience participation actually, that can come up. Park results are in. For those of you that are waiting, have been waiting, it's probably another week or two as family members or parents. High school results came to me officially today. Individual score reports are in my office. Do not call me, do not check on them yet. We are going to digest them. We're going to make some sense of it. And I promise you, it might be the best attended function by parents in this district ever when we give them out. 3 through 8 results will be shared with us via the state next week. Again, give us some time to make sense of what we're looking at. It is the first time for us to digest this test. It's a standardized assessment throughout the state thus far. The school reports are okay. I'm going to tell you that much. They all will be on the website. Within 60 days, we have a legal obligation to share that with the public. Therefore, no later than the January meeting, they will be on the board and you'll be given that same information. And finally, happy Thanksgiving to you and your families. It's been a wild couple of months. The weather has been conducive. Continue to rake your leaves and enjoy the little break that you'll get next week. Since ladies always go first, Ms. de Blasio, your turn.
Thank you, Dr. Cirillo. Good evening, everyone. I'm here to request the board's approval for a proposed trip during spring break to Italy for the students of Italian and any other student in the school who would like to participate. In the black folder, I have included a brief write-up of the proposal. The trip will obviously be during spring break. We'd like to depart on April 8th and return on Sunday, April 17th, which would bring us to about a 7-day trip in Italy. The locations that we've selected has been Rome, Naples, Pompeii, Sorrento, and the island of Capri. And in addition, to visit 2 schools. One is a high school in Pompeii that has asked to do a student exchange with Palisades Park High School eventually. And the other high school is it happens to be in the town where my parents come from, because my cousin is the vice principal of the high school, and it makes for a nice liaison. It's easier to work with. So the kids would have the opportunity to spend some time and see what it's like to actually go to school and share time with their contemporaries and their peers in a different country. They'll be able to go to the school because by the time we're there, they'll be in session. If we were there during Easter break, it would not, unfortunately this year it wouldn't have worked out. I know everyone is, just as I am, a little hesitant given the current situation of this, I should say, the tragedy that occurred last Friday in Paris, which is why I also included in the proposal that the students, anybody who is interested, must take an insurance policy out, which is part of the company that we always deal with, and just for whatever the situation is at that time. I hope that there would not be, but if it comes down to that, we will be protected. And if the board so decides that, maybe it's not a good idea, obviously I think I have half a brain and I would also make that decision, the kids, the students, and all the participants would be protected. Okay? Are there any questions? I don't know if I've covered everything. I tried to write out as much as possible in the proposal. Dr. Matarazzo?
Yes, is that cancellation fee included in on this?
No, it's an additional.
How much
It's an
more would that
additional, it says $100. But that includes cancellation of the
Full
trip.
refund?
Full refund. Minus the insurance policy, obviously, minus the 100 or 125, whatever it is at that time. It has to be, Dr.
Yeah, so they would be paying $33.25, let's say.
Correct, but, it's a 10-day trip, all in all. And I tried to lay out as much that will be included. There's a couple of good opportunities. One that we would visit, as I said, besides the schools, we will go to visit to see how mozzarella is actually made. We're not gonna milk any cows or anything like that, but the kids will actually see it made. And then they'll have an opportunity to visit a restaurant pizzeria in Pompeii, and they'll be able to make their own pizzas. They'll actually show the kids. I've asked poor Charlie so many times, come to school and do a demonstration, and he always says to me, Mayor, I would love to, but my time is really, it's difficult for times constraints wise. Mrs. Alvarez, you had a question?
Did I understand you're opening it up to all the students? Or just
Well,
the
I'm going to
Italian
open it up first to the students of Italian, and that are students of Italian. And there is quite an interest, especially because we haven't had a trip in several years. So, and then, I don't know. I do not want to take more than 20 max, because then it gets out of hand. And so,
How many chaperones?
well, right now, there are several teachers. I would love for Mrs. Scally to come, but we know that she's not gonna leave her little bambina. So, but there are several teachers at the high school who have already expressed to me, Mayor, if you go, I'd really like to be part of it. So,
As a chaperone, not as just a.
as a chaperone, but I also stated, in all the years previous, all the chaperones, myself included, we split the cost, we don't go free. We don't go free. Okay? Dr. Cirillo, you have a question?
I know Richie usually says the board does not have to take legal, or have a resolution on it, but 2 years ago, we were faced with, unfortunately, a very, very wonderful winter. And we did have to come in during spring break, which means this is potentially school time to be made up. Spring break is technically school time to be made up. So I never disagree from the attorney, but this time I say maybe take a vote on it, because if the kids are on a school-sponsored trip, they are not marked absent in the event we have a terrible winter. They're in school, overseas.
Well, they will be visiting schools, so.
So, Rich, if you don't mind,
No, I mean, I tell you what my position is every year, and you
Yes.
still
I know.
vote on it, which is
Yes.
fine.
it's okay.
It doesn't hurt you to vote on it, put it that way.
Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I know all your trips in the past, Mary, have been successful, and I think the board has every confidence that this will be no different, and that you certainly will take care of the kids, so I'd like to make a motion that we approve.
I
Thank you, Mr. Donner, thank you.
Any
John
discussion?
Madison, seconded.
Any discussion?
No, I agree with how I had the pleasure of going with them a couple of years ago, and it was an awesome experience for the children. And I see it as a learning experience. I think for me, learning is just not in the classroom, it's also experiencing the world, and that's a wonderful opportunity.
Thank you.
And even if it was that we have school in session, it's excused because they're on a class trip.
Yes.
So it's not even where that's a debate.
And believe me, they are learning. They're just not there doing nothing. They are learning.
Okay, can we have a roll call,
It's a
please?
wonderful experience.
Jeffrey Wu,
Yes.
Howard Donovan,
Yes.
Marie Alvarez.
Yes.
Angela Burns.
Yes.
Connie Wang.
Yes.
Paul Kemp.
Yes.
Dr. Matarazzo.
Absolutely, and I congratulate you for doing it again.
Thank you,
Very
thank you,
nice.
Dr.
John
Madison.
Madison.
See,
To go.
Thank you, thank you.